The hum of clippers buzzed in the background as Sarah tightened the cape around the older man's shoulders. His name was Joe, a Vietnam veteran with a weathered face that spoke of years spent in service and sacrifices. Eyes tired, but kind, reflected gratitude as he sat in the salon chair. I really appreciate this, Joe said quietly, his voice carrying a weight of humility. I've been trying to save up for a cut, but things have been tight. Sarah smiled. Don't worry about it, Joe. Today it's on me. Sarah had always believed in small acts of kindness. She grew up watching her single mother work 2 jobs, yet still find time to help neighbors in need. Sarah had promised herself that if she ever had the chance, she'd carry that legacy forward. As she carefully trimmed Joe's hair, her boss, Mr. Carter, watched from the counter. His expression darkened when he noticed Sarah not ringing up the service. After Joe thanked her profusely and walked out, Sarah felt the weight of Mr. Carter's glare. Sarah, my office now. Behind closed doors. Mr. Carter didn't mince words. What you did was unprofessional and against company policy. This is a business, not a charity. Sarah's heart sank, but he's a veteran. He couldn't afford it. I don't care, Mr. Carter interrupted, his voice sharp. This isn't your decision to make. You're fired. Pack your things. Sarah left the salon, tears welling up in her eyes. She didn't regret helping Joe, but the sting of losing her job was undeniable. She sat on the bench outside, wondering how she'd explain this to her husband, who was already working overtime to make ends meet. Just then a black SUV pulled up, and a man in a sharp suit stepped out. It was Mayor Thompson, a figure well known in their small town. Sarah wiped her eyes, confused, when he walked directly toward her. Are you Sarah Miller? He asked with a warm smile. Yes, that's me, she replied hesitantly. I just spoke to Joe. The mayor explained. He told me what you did for him today. That small act of kindness meant the world to him. People like you are what this community needs more of. Sarah blinked, stunned. Thank you, but before she could finish, the mayor turned toward the salon. A few moments later, he emerged with Mr. Carter trailing behind him, his face pale. Mr. Carter, Mayor Thompson said firmly, I've just posted about this on my social media. The town is rallying around Sarah and Joe's story. I'd suggest you reconsider your decision if you don't want a PR nightmare. Mr. Carter muttered something under his breath, but eventually extended an offer for Sarah to return. Thank you, but no, Sarah said, her voice steady. I won't work for someone who doesn't value compassion. The mayor smiled approvingly. Good choice. In fact, Sarah, I'd like to offer you something better. Our community center needs a coordinator for outreach programs. Someone like you could make a real difference. Tears of gratitude streamed down Sarah's face. I'd be honored. By evening, the town buzzed with the stories. Strangers reached out offering support to both Sarah and Joe. Donations poured into veteran organizations inspired by the simple haircut that started it all. As Sarah sat with her family that night, she realized she hadn't lost her job. She'd found her purpose. Sometimes standing up for what's right can lead to something far greater than what you leave behind. The world doesn't change through grand gestures, but through small, selfless acts that remind us of our shared humanity.